Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Eloise. Today we're going to talk about 3 amber fragrances. Amber fragrances is a broad term. There are so many different types and scent profiles under the term amber fragrances. But today we're going to talk about 3 specific ones that I think are somewhat similar, but yet unique in their own way. We're going to talk about Amouage Material, Maison France's Kurkdjan's Grand Soir, and Houbigant's Mon Boudoir. So after I purchased Maison France's Kurkdjan's, aka MFK's, Oud Satin Mood, and Baccarat Rouge 540, I became very intrigued with Grand Soir, which is an amber fragrance and I know is a staple in a lot of people's perfume collection. And I really wanted to love the fragrance. I ordered a few samples and there was something about it that just wasn't working for me. So on a quest to find something similar that might work, I decided to order a few other fragrances that I heard and read would be in the similar scent profile and have similarities to Grand Soir. So I have 2 samples here. One is Amouage Material, and the other is MFK's Grand Soir, and I have a full bottle of Mon Boudoir by Houbigant. And this, of course, was another one of my blind buys, and I have to say I'm really loving this bottle and the red bow. It's just so pretty, looks so nice in my perfume collection, and it also smells nice. So I think compared to Grand Soir and Amouage Material, a fragrance like Mon Boudoir is considered a little more mature, a little vintagey, but this was actually launched in 2019 and the nose behind this fragrance is Luca Maffei. So I'm gonna spray this on my right wrist so we can talk about them. So Mon Boudoir opens a little spicy. Then it gets vanillic and ambery, and there is some floral notes, and it's almost a little sour. I can't quite put my finger on it. So it's very vanillic, it's very ambery. There are floral notes in the background, but it's a little difficult to detect exactly what those floral notes are. And there's something a little dirty about the fragrance almost, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I think it's the patchouli. There's something a little like earthy, almost a little sour. And once that subsides, Mon Boudoir turns into an ambery vanillic fragrance with patchouli and hints of floral notes in the distant background that you can't quite identify or put your finger on. There's something a little dusty, and that patchouli definitely has a presence in this fragrance. So while it's a vanillic, ambery, forward fragrance, there's absolutely the presence of patchouli that sort of dirties this up a little bit, which you wouldn't imagine by looking at the bottle. It looks so feminine, and I get the impression of a soft, ultra-feminine fragrance. Although a lot of these vintagey fragrances do include patchouli, it's a very nice take on an ambery fragrance for sure. Does it smell vintagey? I wouldn't say that this smells old-fashioned or vintagey. I would say that it is definitely more of a mature fragrance. I'm not picturing this on someone who's 25 years old. It is a little mature leaning. And I want to point out that it's not a sweet fragrance. It's not ultra vanillic. It's a vanilla with a lot of amber and patchouli. And as it dries down, I feel like there's something a little dusty that gives the impression of floral notes, again, in the distant background, not something that you could actually identify as a floral note in the fragrance. Overall, this is an ambery, vanillic, not sweet, patchouli fragrance that has powderiness. And does have maybe a little bit of a vintagey vibe, a mature vibe, but not old-fashioned in the kind of way where it can't be appreciated as a current fragrance. So now I'm going to spray material on my left wrist, although I have tried this and I've worn it for an entire day several times and can attest to good longevity with this fragrance. Oh, this is nice. So the nose behind Material is Cécile Zarokian, a well-known perfumer who has created many well-known fragrances. And Material opens as a spicy, ambery vanilla. There's Gaiac wood in here, and it definitely lends a woody element to the fragrance. I will say that I picked that up, and I actually like it for that reason. Although it's a vanillic, ambery fragrance, it's not sweet. I think Mon Boudoir, in comparison to Material, would be a sweeter fragrance. And Mon Boudoir does not have a sweet vanilla in it. But Material is less sweet than Mon Boudoir in comparison. So it's spicy, woody, ambery. It is vanillic. It's enveloping. I find it very enveloping, comforting. It has this like fluffy element to it that's very inviting. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. It's so inviting. I really like this. I think as it dries down, I get more vanilla. It's resinous, it's ambery, it's got that woody background. There is patchouli in here as well, but it's not as prominent as it is in Mon Boudoir, at least to my nose. I feel that Mon Boudoir gets more powdery and the patchouli is more prominent, while in Material, the fragrance gets ambery and woody and the patchouli is not as prominent as Mon Boudoir, but it is spicier. And I think it's because of the LME, which is a peppery note in fragrances. So Material is definitely more unisex, and I would even say that it's a little more linear than Mon Boudoir. It's a little darker. Mon Boudoir retains more of a powdery, ambery, vanillic type scent profile, while Material is an ambery, vanillic, spicy, almost woody scent profile. I really enjoy the vanilla in here. I'm not always looking for that sweet, gourmand-leaning vanilla fragrance, and sometimes I enjoy a different take on vanilla. Okay, so now let's smell Grand Soir, another fragrance that I've tested and worn, but we'll spray it on the tester strip because my wrists are full of other fragrances. So right at the outset, it is so clear to me the Grand Soir is brighter, more uplifting. It is ambery and it is spicy, but in a different way, not the spicy that Material is. Material is spicy in a more peppery, darker, woodsy, ambery way, while this one is spicy in a more airy, uplifting, lighter way. So Grand Soir has cinnamon essence, clove, there are woody notes in here, vanilla, ambery, there's labdanum, there's lavender. And so I think the problem with Grand Soir for me is the lavender. I think the lavender in this fragrance is the note that's ruining it for me. So while I really like the idea of this light, uplifting, brighter take on this vanillic, ambery fragrance that's also resinous and balsamic. Of course, it's vanillic. The lavender is making this almost masculine leaning to my nose, and I don't find it as enveloping and cozy as Material, nor do I find it as interesting and layered as Mon Boudoir. Material also has a smokier element now that I'm comparing the two. And when you compare fragrances like this side by side, you really do notice and pick up the nuances and the differences. Material is absolutely a tiny bit smokier when you compare it to something like Grand Soir, which is clean. Yes, it's an ambery vanillic fragrance, but it's clean. It has a very clean, clear texture to it, for lack of a better description. Yeah, so that's a side-by-side comparison of these three amber fragrances that are similar in certain ways, but yet when you really get down to it, they're unique in their own right. As in terms of longevity, I think Mon Boudoir and Amouage Material are pretty long-lasting fragrances. I think I get a nice 7 to 8 hours where I can still smell it on myself throughout the day. Grand Soir might be a little less. I think after 5-6 hours it becomes more of a skin scent, maybe closer to 5 hours. So I don't think that I'll be getting a full bottle of Grand Soir, although I said the same thing about Amouage's Guidance, and guess what I have in my perfume collection? Guidance by Amouage. I will make a video comparing Guidance to the sample I have of Guidance 46, by the way, so stay tuned for that. I don't think, as of now, I don't think that I will be getting a full bottle of Grand Soir. I just don't like the note of lavender, and I think it ruins the fragrance for me. It doesn't ruin the fragrance, it's a beautiful amber fragrance. Mon Boudoir, obviously I own a full bottle, and I do enjoy it. It's a little more patchouli forward than I expected, but it does dry down to a very nice, cozy, dusty, vanillic amber fragrance that I think I'll be getting good use out of. And Material by Amouage, I already ordered, so I will be receiving a full bottle of that. I absolutely love the fragrance, and I'm looking forward to that. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any thoughts or opinions on these 3 amber fragrances, if you own or you've tested them, or if you have suggestions for others in this similar scent profile, please leave your comments below. Thank you so much again for tuning in and watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.